In Regina, when it rains, it pours into the city's underpasses. Despite the obvious risk, some drivers still attempt to make it through the flooded roadways, often leaving stranded vehicles and soaked drivers. Sometimes, first responders are even called in to save passengers. Flooding isn't a new problem. The Albert Street underpass has been flooding since at least 1912, but it keeps happening. Officials say there are two reasons. The underpass's drainage system becomes plugged by debris, preventing water from getting pumped out. Or the system is so overloaded that the pumps are unable to keep up.
We've got significant infrastructure upgrades planned for all of our stormwater ponds, including the underpasses, and that's why it's so important to continue to invest in our underground infrastructure.
Upgrades to fix the Albert Street underpass would cost an estimated $10 million, and the city is still reviewing options for Broad Street. Officials say while it is easy to identify the problem, implementing the fix is more difficult.
For example, the Albert Street underpass, to reduce the risk of flooding there, that work is going to be planned with a SAS Drive work that is happening along all of SAS Drive, but it's important to integrate all that work to make sure it's done properly all at once.
There's no clear timeline for when work on Saskatchewan Drive will begin, let alone when it will be completed. So a permanent fix to the problem is likely years away. In the medium term, they're going to use heavy equipment to stop vehicles from driving around small barricades and make other changes.
We're working with SGI to have a flood indicator on the Albert Street underpass. So if it's flooded, it would take control of the lights and not allow people to go into the flooded underpass, as the lights would stay red.
The sensor could be in place by the 2024 storm season. So while the flooding will likely continue for some time, the city wants drivers to stop entering the water. Alexander Kwan, CBC News, Regina.